Nigezza here from nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you the card that I made for the Global Design Project number whatever, can't remember, 1834, can't remember. It was a theme. It's walk in a park, and this is the card I've made. So it's walk in the park at sunset was kind of the look I was going for. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I made it. So I've used abstract impressions to make this card. So I've used the grassy elements there, those sort of flower tops, and the butterfly as well. So I've got those all mounted up ready. I've got my card mat, which is my normal size of card mat, and I will put all those measurements as usual on my blog post. I've got my embossing buddy, which I'm going to use for a change. So I'm just going to run that over so I don't get any stray bits. And I think I'm going to go in that orientation. No, I'm not. That was the orientation I had in my head, and that is the one I'm going for. So I don't know why I then wiped it with my hand, because that put static back on it anyway. So I've got my Versamark, so I'm going to stamp to give a little sort of a park sort of scene, and I'm going to emboss it in black embossing powder. So put that on there, and that one next to it. If you kind of look at it at an angle, you can sort of see where it is. So I'm just going to plonk them like that. Oop. Plonk them there, and then have a butterfly. Actually going to do three butterflies, and I kind of see it. That one's a bit further away, but it is abstract, so I'm not bothered about that. There we go. And then we're just going to put some black embossing powder on there. Put a bit more on there. There. A couple of bits there. That'll do nicely. Stick all this back in my pot. And then I'll just get my heat gun and heat it up. So this is where we get a bit noisy. And there it is. So that's all nicely embossed there. So I'm just going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'll get the inks out. So that's all nice and dry now. So I'm gonna create a sort of a sunset sort of background, because a walk in the park's really nice at sunset. So I've picked out some colours here, sort of to go, well, that way up in terms of the colours. So starting at crushed curry, mango melody, pumpkin pie, eclipse, coral, Cajun craze, sort of. Okay, so that was my ideas. I've got some sponges already, which I use a bit of the corresponding cardstock, and then I actually write the names, because sometimes when you're just looking at them, some of them are pretty close to each other. So yeah, so I'm going to get a bit of scrap behind that. I'm going to get a bit inky. So I'm going to start with crushed curry at the bottom. And I'm just going to just sponge it up. And then I'm happy with that. Going to move on to Mango Melody. So it's just having a little subtle change. As we go up with that one. And then pumpkin pie, we should see a little bit more of a change. And with so many colours to choose from, you can really sort of build up quite an effect, so you can decide on what effect you actually want, and that's blending together really nicely there. And then a bit of calypso coral. If you think, oh, maybe that's a little bit bright, I think I might go back with some pumpkin pie. Tone that down a little bit. And then I'm going to leave that open for a minute. Get the Cajun craze. And yep, I'm going to come back in with some Mango Melody there. To get that colour blend in. to give it a look of a sunset sky. And that's it. So our ink, I just love working with these inks, the way that you can blend like this, watercolour, just love it. So I was going to do some drops of water on it, but I don't think I'm going to bother now. I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to mat that onto a black card, I think. So I decided it needs sentiment, so I've got Scrap of Whisper White, basic black, and I'm going to use the sentiment there. If flowers were hugs, I'd send you 1,000, because I've got some people to send cards to that would be appropriate for. So here's my embossing buddy here, and I'm going to heat emboss it in white and then colour it in. So plonk that down the middle, down the bottom there. Got my white embossing powder. There we go. Give that a blast with my heat gun. And then I'm gonna, I wonder if I could just sponge it. Might be slightly subtler if I did a bit of sponging, actually. Yeah, make things up as I go along, don't I? What was that? Crushed curry. Yeah. Might not be dark enough. Might be okay. It's an experiment. I can always use the pens after if this doesn't work. Might try new things out. It is quite a bit lighter than the look I was trying to achieve, but it's not bad. I might just see what the pen does. Oh, drop one of my pens. There's a little gap to my desk on the side there. And I've dropped the Cajun cage down it. Oh, but it's okay. It hasn't gone right down the side. And then what I might do is give that a little bit of a rub. I'm looking around for a tissue. And then I might just get a triple banner punch. I'll flag the end. And then we'll just trim off the end there after we've stuck it down, and I might pop it up on some dimensionals. I might just leave it flat actually. So oh, this Tombo's been, this is the one from the other day that didn't come out. And then it splodged. I have run out of Tombow because I don't know if you remember, that's my last one, that I had one that was faulty. So I'm just waiting for those replacements to arrive. I had a couple. So there was a few Tombows that have been a bit weird. And so if you have received some Tombow that comes out a little bit like toothpaste, then let your demonstrator know, because Stampin' Up will replace it. Customer service at Stampin' Up is fabulous. So I'm just waiting for my delivery of my new Tombows. So I'll just snip that off. It's now stuck to my scissors. And then we'll just glue that on the back. This is my second favourite glue. Splodge that out a little bit more than I wanted to. And that was my go-to glue before I used Tombow. And I will put a Whisper White panel on the inside. I haven't got one ready before I give that to somebody. So there we are. That's my entry then for the Global Design Project, which was a theme of Walk in the Park. So that's a walk in the park at sunset. Hope you like it. All the details will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk, and there'll be a link to the Global Design Project there if you want to join in as well. Okay, see you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.